Hey, good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is where you're at. Welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today I'm going to be working on issue 3 of the Moomin House, which I started last week. Did issues 1 and 2. I'm going to do issue 3 today. Might get a little bit further, not sure. So let's start with opening the booklet. And so today we're going to be building the roof to the front porch. We're going to get little Mai, get Moomin Mama's sewing basket, and do part of the tiled stove. Let me go ahead and open to the actual instructions. And here are all the parts. You can see that I've labeled this just for my own ease of identifying the pack. I've labeled it on the front, pack 3. The only way you know what pack it is by identifying the parts in there. And you can see here we've got the base, we've got the 2 roofs, we got the eaves, and the parts of the tiled stove, including the doors and the base. And, of course, little Mai. So, give me just a second while I stop recording for a sec. I'm going to stop recording for a second and get the parts out. Okay, so I've got the package opened, and it's just in the clear plastic here to hold the parts. First thing it says to do is to take the base, which you can see it has a curvature because this will be up against the house. This is actually the roof of the patio I built in stage 2, I believe it was, or porch. Take that, and let's see, it's got the front gable, which is this one, and the rear gable, which is this one, which has no paint. So you take the rear gable and put it on here, glue it on here. First thing I got to do is make sure that it is going to fit okay without any issue. So let me get a little bit of glue, and give me just a second while I find something to put the glue in, because I'm going to use a brush instead. I am back. So I put a little bit of glue here. It's actually wood glue in here, and I've started using a brush instead because it's a little bit easier to make sure you don't get too much glue on. So what I'm going to do is just take a little dab of glue here, and these brushes are micro brushes like this are really cheap. You can see I've got some glue on there, and I'm going to just spread it across here. It's a little bit easier to keep it from getting all over the outside of the pieces you're gluing, so you don't have to go back all the time and clean it up. I will tell you that to the inside of this will be actually closed off, so if any comes to the inside, not a big deal. I will wipe off any from the outside. So I'm going to push this back down in here like it was before, and you can see a little bit of seepage there. Not too, maybe you can, I can, not too bad. Very little seepage on the inside, and I don't really have to do anything about the inside there about the back there, because that's going to be up against the house. So let me do the same thing with this piece here. A little bit of glue on here, and it doesn't take much, just enough to make it stick. Unless, of course, if you were to be building this so your children could play with it, you might need to add a little extra glue. Although wood glue really sets pretty well and makes it pretty sturdy. So this second piece, and you can see here, there are 4 holes here. Only the 2 in the front are what you're going to use, because the other 2 are going to be used later on when we attach this to the porch. And so that's on there. And then again, the pieces of the roof match the curvature on the back. So take those out, and I'll do very similar to what I did before. Has me, according to the instructions, it's the right one on that goes on first. I don't think it matters. A little bit of glue, a little bit of glue on there, Same on this side, a little bit more. It's drying out on the brush a little bit. And the thing is, you can wash the brush to get the glue off, or you can throw the brush away because they are very cheap. You get some glue on the tabs, on the tab, and then this is going to go on here like this. Why does that not look right? Because I'm a dork. Nice thing about this glue is it will not set too quickly. If you use super glue, it would be would have been a bad thing. I just realized what I did. Let me wipe the glue off here. Make sure the piece is the right way around, because it was supposed to make a nice smooth thing. This is actually the bottom of the piece. So let me go back and put glue on these. And I can hear you laughing, Gilly and Eric, and probably Donnie. But that's okay. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you catch them soon enough. Had I put this on here and left it for a couple of days, it would really, or not even a couple of days, for a couple of hours, it would really suck. It would be very hard to get this back off. And I would be calling DeAgostini and going, can I buy this back? So now that looks better, because you can see I've got a smooth edge all the way down here. We put glue on, re-put the glue on there. Fortunately, I didn't put the glue on the wrong side there. And we are going to fill this area up with a bit of glue. Go back, put some on the tabs again. And this is the hazards of not actually doing anything not on camera for this build. So I'll take this piece back. Hang on. There we go. That piece back, put it back on here the way it was before, and this time it's going to actually fit. It says to make sure, as you're building this, to make sure these are 90 degrees, but as you see, it actually will force it to be correct when you put that piece on. And let me see, Q-tip, I got a little bit of extra glue this time down in here, a little bit too much there. Back, not a big deal. And so now that is that half of the gable. Do the same thing, except for I'm also going to do this edge this time. Start down here at the bottom. Also, since I don't edit, that's another hazard. I may, when I retire finally, actually start editing, but probably not. I think it's better to just let you guys see what really happens in the modeling process, because sometimes it's one of these things that when somebody edits, it looks so easy, you're like, yeah, I can do that. And then when you go and try, it's very discouraging because you can't do that, or you don't know exactly how they did that. So let me take this piece and put it on here. And again, lining up the holes. This one actually fell right on perfect. And that is the roof of the porch. A little bit of glue there. Make sure these are even. And you may look and see these big slot pieces. When I originally watched a couple of videos on there because there are some videos, not a whole lot out there on the Moomin house, I was like, that looks ugly. Why would you leave the tabs like that? And the reason you leave the tabs aren't covered up is because there's actually going to be some shingles that go over top of that, and that is the completed roof of the porch. porch, if you remember, let me roll over, or let me go grab it, is right here. And there's actually going to be some pieces that are going to hold it up. You hold it to one of the side cameras. It's going to hold it up about that height, roughly. No, about, you can see it better that way. It says to sand some of the paint work off and everything to make it look warm. I like the way it looks. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to weather my Moomin house. Oh, by the way, let me get her out. She is very tiny. This is Little Mai. She's a friend of Moomin Troll. I'm not going to cut that out. She's going to end up, I'm going to find something to put her into along with all the other characters as we go along. She'll stand on her own. Again, there's tape, double-sided tape, so you can position her in a specific place. And then this is Moomin Mama's knitting basket. I don't think we have her yet. No, we have Moomin Troll and Snufkin. And I believe there will actually be some stuff, some miniature balls of yarn, probably just plastic, to go into the knitting basket. And now we have the fireplace, I think. Let's see. Oh, tiled stove, sorry. Got the two doors. Very intricate little detail there. You can see the latch on the door along with the working swing arm. I will probably, once this is, I've got a good idea how this is going to go together, I will probably put a light inside here. Here's the base. And this is what they call the fixing plate. And you can see, maybe on camera, can you see it? Yeah, you can see there's two spots for two spots for three, no spots for one, but this is part one, and it is labeled on the inside. You've got one, and move these doors. Three threes, and two twos. Should not need this, I don't think, anymore, so let me set it out off to the side after I get the brush back into it. Matter of fact, let me put the brush over here to soak in water. It says to lay the pieces out similar to what I've got here, except actually not at all like what I've got here. I'm just looking. Very odd. Oh, okay. Like that. And the two pieces are going to be over here. And the unique thing about the different thing between the twos and the threes, all of them have pins on both sides. There's pins here, there's pins here. The twos are identical to each other. The threes have to be turned over. So let me turn the page. And it does actually say to glue the pieces on. Okay, so let me get the glue stick back up. Although let's see. if I'm going to light this, I'm not, for right now, I'm not going to glue them because I'm going to have to take it back apart and do light blocking on the inside. I'm going to just put a little light inside, just act as the fire. Maybe. We'll see how rough this is. But it does say in the book to paint the back wall. So let me take this part here. And it comes in the pack like this. You turn it over, and let me double check. So it says to put in the back one first, and this one like this. And this, you can see the hole, the pin goes in the hole, just like that. And there's the start. Interesting, because it actually goes a little bit back and forth. I'm just going to go ahead and put them on. There's going to have to be some light blocking and maybe some seam work. I might actually have to glue these in before I can. No, that should work. That one's not going all the way in, and I just killed little my. So sad. That's better. That might actually be tight enough that I don't need to block the seams. I'll have to be careful. Maybe, maybe not. May not have to worry too much about not getting anything between the seams, because if the black shows up in the seams, then I'll use some panel wash on the rest of them. That's a little bit rough fit there. Get these two on here. This is stuff that I will be taking back apart so that I can finish, so I can do the finish. Third part, part 7. Just reading what it says. These are all supposed to be glued in, so they're a little bit shaky right now. It says not to glue them beyond the base, which isn't going to work real well. They have to be glued later on. They get glued together. These part 2s are falling out. This slides down inside here. It leaves a groove here where this last part will slide down in. But these ones are not lining up. Let me see. That says set the doors in here. There's 2 little pinholes there. Doors sit in here. And I'm thinking I can probably set the rest of this together if the part 2s will stay on. May have to glue those. And I will probably, when I glue these, use super glue. So, hang on, let me play with this off camera for a second. Okay, what I actually had to do, if you can see down inside there, is I took some washi tape. And actually, that will probably be how I do the seams to light block the gaps, make sure there are none, is I'll run some tape up inside here. The key thing is, the reason you can't glue the edges together yet is because there's a part exactly like this that goes up in the top. So now, let me slide this one down in here and hopefully be able to reach that tape. The tape actually went right across it. So now that's holding it together. I'm not having to glue it. I can take it back apart and paint it in a little bit. And then this, with where the doors are, will slot down over top of the doors. Probably should close the doors so they're supporting each other. Being very careful not to break the hinge, because I want to be able to open the fireplace or the tile stove. Otherwise it would make no sense to put any kind of light in there. And it's probably, I'm thinking a flickering orange LED, maybe more than one LED in there. I did with the with a build on the Addams Family living room. I did a couple of flickering LEDs in the fireplace. It was kind of a nice effect. I don't think I ever did a video on YouTube about it. Okay, so there's that. Very carefully slide this down in here, and it looks like there should be some pins from the top, and that's not staying. There we go. So that is what it looks like. It'll be a little bit more firm once the top is done, once the tape is in, but you can actually lift the handle and open the fireplace. That's going to be painted black inside there, down at least at the bottom, probably all the way up inside, and that way I can have a lit fire inside there. Not sure if I'll do an LED actually right there where you can see it, or more likely it's going to be recessed and just flicker up into the stove, the tile part. So hope you enjoyed this. If you do, like, subscribe, come on over to Hobby Time Modelers and join us. We're on Facebook and YouTube. See what we're doing. Join us on Facebook. Join in our streams on Friday afternoon, or Friday evening and Sunday afternoon. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. Take care of yourselves out there. Take care of each other. And I will catch you next time.